Every May 31st, tobacco control advocates, governments, and other stakeholders mark World No Tobacco Day to raise awareness on the harmful effects of tobacco use. Now, to tell us more about the focus of this year's campaign, we have in the studio Ralph Degollacion, who is a project manager of Health Justice Philippines. Good morning, Ralph.
Good morning.
Thank you so much for being with us today.
Yeah.
Well, it's a busy day for you, so do tell us and enlighten us what the focus of the World Tobacco No Tobacco Day for 2019 is.
So, this year it's about the tobacco and lung health. That's the theme for this year, and we are focusing on the dangers of tobacco to our lungs. It's very important to note that tobacco kills half of its users, and globally, it still kills around 7 million people. In the Philippines, annually, there's around 117,000 Filipinos who die because of tobacco-related diseases.
Yeah, I mean, 7 million in terms of tobacco smokers, but you also have that around 890,000, who actually get sick or die due to the secondhand smoke.
Correct.
So what would you say would be the difference? Or is there a big gap, or they're pretty much the same between secondhand smoke and actually smoking a cigarette?
Per studies around the world, it is proven that there's no difference between first-hand or actual smokers and then second-hand smoke, because second-hand smoke also is a danger to people around those who are smoking, because you get to inhale as well the chemicals that is inside a cigarette. So it's equally dangerous to our lungs and to our health.
And of course, that has to be like a more, how would I say, continuous exposure to somebody smoking. And then there's also third-hand smoke. I mean, so now it's going on to the third-hand smoke. So do explain what that is.
Third-hand smoke happens when even the smoker is already out of the room. The particles or the chemicals that was burned out of the cigarette stays to the in the furnishings of the room. So those particles that stays in the room, if it is not cleaned properly or thoroughly, then it can be inhaled or ingested by the person occupying the room next to the smoker, and prolonged exposure can also cause diseases as well.
Okay, so this is definitely something we shouldn't take lightly. Now, how do you intend to disseminate information and raise awareness on the harmful effects of tobacco use? And I know that it's a busy day for you today, and what are the activities lined up so people will, be more aware?
Yeah, so World No Tobacco Day is especially busy for public health advocates and many of our supporters. There are various activities in many cities, like in Marikina, Valenzuela, in Pasig City. There's also various activities in the regions from Region 3 down to Mindanao. So what we think for us as advocates, it's very important that we continue to promote a smoke-free environment, and at the same time, we should also support legislation, especially in increasing tobacco taxes, because tobacco taxation is still the #1 strategy to discourage our youth and our people from smoking, because an increased price in tobacco can actually save many lives.
Not only that, but where are we in terms of tobacco use compared to way back in 2009? Are we going on the downward trend, I hope, or
we're very, very positive, because when we started around 2009, there's around 17 million Filipino adult smokers. But because of the CINN tax law and all other measures that was implemented after 2012, it is now gone to, or from 17 million, it's around 13 million adult smokers. So that's around 4 million who actually quit. And we have already, we considered it as a milestone, because you already saved 4 million lives.
That's right. But even with that, we still rank high in terms of countries that consume tobacco.
Yeah, we're still in the top 10 in the world in terms of number of population smoking. And we are also focusing on the young smokers, because the young smokers who are around less than 18 years old, we still have around 100,000 or more. So we have a long way to go. We have to continue to advocate and inform our people about the negative effects of smoking.
Okay, so you also mentioned earlier about the excise tax, right?
Yeah.
Which is also discouraging people from smoking.
Yeah.
But there's also the implementation of Executive Order 26,
Yeah.
which is known as providing for the establishment of a smoke-free environment in public and enclosed places. Now, based on your observation, how is it going? Is it being implemented? Do people actually follow this?
The good news is there are many local governments who are abiding by Executive Order 26. So maybe to explain further, Executive Order 26 affirms our government's commitment to protecting our health from secondhand smoke, because that is something that you want to actually have more people protected from this kind of toxic substance. And we're seeing an increase in local governments that are imposing stricter penalties or monitoring those or expanding their smoke-free places. That's very positive development. But we would like to see that all our local governments are compliant. As of the moment, almost just around 1/3 of all local governments. So if we have 1,500 local governments, around 1/3 only is strictly implementing it.
Okay, well, thank you so much for sharing, good news, a little good news. And I know we're heading in the right direction, and you've been a part of this project for 8 years now.
Yeah.
And we do hope that to see more of you in the next coming years.
Yeah, thank you very much. And we hope our people will continue to advocate for a smoke-free and for a tobacco-free environment and tobacco-free Philippines.
Wonderful. Thank you, Ralph Degollacion from the Health Justice Philippines.
Yeah.